Welcome to the Garden City in western Montana, USDA Zone 5B. Welcome to the kitchen. As you can see, we have plenty of zucchini, and this is after giving it away to family and co-workers and random people. This is what we have left over from this week, and so we also have tried to use zucchini in just about every meal we can think of putting it in, but even despite that, we've had quite an excess. And so what do you do with your excess zucchini? Well, I think that I would rather have some zucchini during the non-growing season, so in the winter months and early spring when the zucchini isn't available. And so how do I do that? And so the first thing you can do is just cut it in any way that you particularly like. And so this is kind of the more traditional cut. You just do like the half moon. Or you can even do kind of the zoodle thing. So if you take something like what I have here, and it makes the little zoodle noodles. But what do you do when you have something that is like this? So this one just was hiding underneath everything, and just, I like to pick them when they're much smaller, but occasionally we'll find them that are something like this. So what do you do with something like that? Well, I'll show you in a moment. So this is my workstation. And so with that really big zucchini, the first thing I did was cut it down into some usable strips. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to start grinding up some of these strips. Okay, so now that we've ground down some of those strips, what we'll do is we'll take that and we'll put some of it into this little pan. Okay, so it's not really a pan, it's more of a colander. It's got some holes in it, and that's going to allow us to help steam it. And so the reason why we're going to do that is we're going to blanch it to basically kill some of the enzymes that are oxidizing or breaking down the zucchini. And so I have the broken down, the ground up strips. I also have some of the zoodles that we did, and then also some of those half moon shapes. And so there's all sorts of different ways that you can do this, but so what we're going to do is we're going to put this into the steamer. So we'll crank that up a bit. We're going to submerge these ones completely into the boiling water, and then we're also going to steam the zoodles. Now we're going to do this for about 45 seconds. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take them out and we're going to completely submerge them into cold, ice cold water. So these have ice in them, and so be careful not to burn ourselves. But we're going to take these that have been steamed and boiled, and we're going to put them in some ice cold water so we can stop the cooking process. So now that we've stopped the cooking process, what we'll do is we'll take those and we'll put them on some cookie sheets. Now on top of the cooking sheets, I actually have cutting boards, and the reason why is because it allows the gravity to kind of drip some of that liquid to the bottom, just the way that they tilt. And I'm going to do a preliminary freeze, and they're actually easier to get off of the cutting board than they are the cookie sheet. So now that the water's all drained out of that, we'll also put them, and it's just ground up zucchini. Now what we'll do is we'll freeze all this up eventually, and then we'll have it available in little sandwich bags, so that during the winter time when we can't grow zucchinis, we'll still have some available to throw into pastas and things like that. And so this is a little bit for the flavor, but a lot of it for the nutritional value. Now the process just restarts. And then what we'll do is we'll put them in the freezer. We don't want them to be completely frozen, but pretty frozen, so that we can put them into bags and then give them the full freeze. Okay, so now I just took them out of the freezer. They're a little more frozen than I typically would like, but sometimes things come up like dinner and getting kids ready for bed and that sort of thing. So they're a little more frozen, but that's okay. That's not going to be an issue. This is kind of why I like using the cutting board. Not only does it let some of the water run off if you put it at an angle, but with this one being kind of flexible, it allows it to easily break off those pieces. And so we'll just take a little sandwich bag and we'll start gathering up some of the zucchini. Now we'll do the same thing with the zoodles. And lastly, we'll do the ground up zucchini. Now this cutting board wasn't as flexible as the other one, but yeah, there's still a little bit of flex. It's a little bit flexible, and so able to kind of break some of that off, so that'll be helpful. And then we'll just break off some little chunks and put them into the bags. Now we have all sorts of bags that we can just put in our deep freeze, and during the winter time when we're thinking about some pasta or stir fries or anything we just want to add in a little zucchini to, we'll have some available.